What's up, guys? Jerry here, East Tennessee DIY, and I wanted to take a minute to do a real quick post build review of this 2 tether climbing system that I've been using. I wanted to talk about how it's been for me. We're going to look at it, kind of go over some of the key wear points that I've been noticing, and also talk about some safety, have a little safety discussion about this. Again, this is the 2 tether climbing system. I did 2 other videos. One of them is us climbing with it, and then one is the build of the system. So I've been using it for most of the season. I've got on the 20-25 climbs in it, somewhere around there. So far it's been really good. It's a great system. It's a very solid system. Once you get used to burying your toe in the tree and leg hooking to get your climbs, it's super easy to use. Very easy to climb, even for a fat old guy like me. So yeah, it's a great, very lightweight. Again, weighs I think less than 6 ounces. Packs up nice. I've got a little fanny pack that I have this, a ring of steps, gill kit, water bottle, power source, just a few of your essential items that you would need to use. And it's a very compact little setup. And I like it because we hunt, me and my son, who's Jonathan Groze, Hunting Made Harder over on Instagram. We hunt a lot of TVA property, and we go into a lot of it blind. Haven't been into the majority of it, so we're just kind of learning all these different properties that are around us here in East Knoxville or West Knoxville. So I want to take a second to kind of discuss these. Like I said, super strong. Haven't had any problems with it. I inspect it every day before I use it, and I inspect it every day after I use it. And I have noticed some key wear points on it, and I want to talk to you guys about that. So you can see that this is starting to fluff up or fray up, just like tubular webbing does. And obviously you're going to get that because this is the part that's against the tree, and that pretty much goes the full length of where the size trees I usually climb. And you'll start seeing it, and then it actually stops where the majority of the rope doesn't touch the tree. The Prusix, you get a little bit of compression under your Prusix, but you're going to get that on any rope. It's pretty noticeable on here. I'll show you this one. You can see right here is where this Prusik typically sits, and you're getting a little bit of compression. You can fluff it out, but I just want you guys to be aware of it. So anywhere you use a Prusik on a rope, and it doesn't matter what the rope is, you're going to get some compression. Just some ropes bounce back and reform better than Amsteel does, which this particular one is Amsteel. So you are going to notice that. So typical wear points you're getting. I'm not getting anywhere on my loop where my girth hitch usually connects on the tree, but I am getting the fuzziness on it. And that's the same thing for the leg loop or the leg tether, foot tether, where the tree hits it, getting some fuzziness. But other than that, that's really the only wear I'm seeing on the foot. One of the places I was concerned is where the foot placement tubing goes. I was worried about getting a little bit of wear there, but that rubber is not wearing on it at all. And then underneath my girth hitch protector, which is that little 3/4 tubular webbing, not getting anywhere under there, but you are getting some flattening, which you're going to get with Amsteel whenever you put pressure on a loop like that. So just something for you guys to be aware of if you decide to go with this method. One of the things I did want to talk about was the strength of Amsteel. I've had a lot of discussions about this and about Amsteel tethers in general with a lot of smart people over on Saddle Hunter and some other pages, Facebook, a couple other places. And they have brought to my attention, well, I already knew, but that's part of the discussion, was that Amsteel is not climb rated. And that's something that you need to take into consideration when you are considering going with Amsteel as a climbing method or as a tether or anything else. It's not climb rated. It's not meant to be used for climbing. With that, you have some pretty significant weak points on Amsteel if you are assuming that risk and using it as a climbing method or a tether. One of them is your loop angle. So if you go look at Dyneema and Amsteel and start really looking into the specs, it's not meant to have a significant bend like that. It's actually a pretty big loss in strength. I want to say it's 35%, but you need to read about it and confirm and see what your risk level you're willing to assume is. So I think you lose around 30% at a sharp bend like that. That's why most Prusik or most Amsteel winch lines and things like that come with a preset metal ring. That metal ring isn't just there to protect the line, but it also sets the correct loop diameter and length, because that's also a key part of it. So you need to understand that whenever you're using it like I do, around a tree as a girth hitch, and you're just running your line straight through there, you're getting a pretty significant loss of strength. Now for me, that loss of strength, although it is significant in regards to climbing equipment, it's not enough to cause me a concern of failure. So if this is a 4,000 pound braking strength and that reduces it by 30%, then that still leaves you with, I don't know, 2,700, something like that. And I'm at no point am I going to put 2,700 pounds on this Amsteel. One of the factors that I take into consideration is the fact that I'm always on a tight line. I'm never have any slack in my tether, whether it be my foot tether or my Amsteel or my bridge tether. One of these is always going to be under tension while I'm reducing or I'm letting the tension off the other to move it. So if I am moving my foot tether up, I'm on tension of my main tether. If I'm moving my main tether up, I'm on tension of my foot tether. So I'm never not on a slack line. If I was on a slack line and there was potential that I was going to fall a foot, 2 foot, then I would, or a significant chance that I would fall a foot or 2. There's always that chance. But I've taken that into consideration with my risk mitigation and my assumption of risk on this system, and I find it that it's something that does not take it outside the realm of my acceptable risk. And that's really what I'm talking about, is what's acceptable to you and what's acceptable to somebody else. We all take risks when we're using these saddles and climbing in general. If you are leaving the earth and you're climbing a tree, which we're not designed to do, you're assuming some sort of risk. And you just have to figure out what risk you're comfortable with. For me, this system is within my comfort zone of risk. It might not be for you. That's why you need to get into the books and read about this stuff, no matter what the material is that you're using. Be sure you know what it's capable of and where its weak points are and how you're going to use it, and make your decision based off of that. Also take in consideration your climbing habits and your state of mind when you're climbing. I'm very methodical about when I'm climbing with this or anything. I have a set step or a set number of steps that I go through, and kind of a checklist in my head for each step I take. I've got a checklist and I run through that before I make my next move to kind of lock down my procedures and make sure that I am climbing safely. With this system, that checklist is a little longer. If I'm using climbing sticks, it's a different checklist. It might be a little bit shorter, but those are kind of things I wanted to mention. So, in summary, good system, works great, super light, super packable, fits my hunting style right now perfectly, and I'll continue to use it. I've done a lot of reading about Amsteel and Dyneema, and I have a good understanding what its capabilities are and what its limitations are, and I have based my assumption of risk off that, and you guys need to do the same before you go trying this system. All right, thanks.